Today, everyone gather round the live stream and have a disassociative break. It's Final Fantasy Day, and this is Checkpoint. Welcome to Checkpoint. I had blood drawn this morning, and we're passing the savings on to you!
The savings of your blood test?
Haha, that's right, Brian.
How much blood did they take?
Oh, not much. They said they only needed whoops.
Breaking news, no one is going to E3. Okay, that's not entirely true. I'm exaggerating for emphasis. But it is true that Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox will not be hosting booths at E3 2023. And hey, that might not actually be true either, because it's only according to multiple knowledgeable sources mentioned in an IGN article, as opposed to any direct statements from all three companies. But if it turns out to be true, it won't be terribly surprising. The PR departments at Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox have all gotten used to advertising to us since the pandemic started without any in-person events. So it stands to reason Nintendo will keep doing their directs, Sony will keep stating their play, and Xbox will just keep Xing that box. Lewd. So what does that leave for E3? It's an all-indie fest, wall-to-wall with creators of small, tight, well-crafted, goofy-ass titles, only asking for a few bucks and a few hours of your time. Yeah, there certainly won't be anything to compete with the indies. Oh, right. Them. Yeah, while it's not clear which of that gestalt are coming, I'd like to offer my early congratulations to the PC Gaming Showcase for finally winning E3. That is, if these guys don't show up.
Naoki Yoshida, aka Yoshi-P, the director and producer of Final Fantasy XIV, isn't mad. He's just disappointed. Extremely disappointed in the unnamed team who achieved a world-first clear in the MMO's latest raid, Omega Protocol. Sorry, not an unnamed team, a team called Unnamed. A team who got the world-first clear, but then, in a video that it seems one of them uploaded, showed footage of one team member using a third-party mod to get a wider view of the battle arena. Like a really wide view. That's what Yoshi-P found, quote, extremely disappointing to me personally. And now the whole FF14 community is upset, and not just because Team Unknown Battlegrounds pissed off Dad, but they're worried that this could cause Square Enix to crack down even harder on mods, many of which are used for quality of life improvements or accessibility. Or even crack down on the effort put into the game. I add that latter part because Yoshi-P said, quote, if the presumption is that this content will be tackled and cleared with the use of third-party tools, then any reason to develop high-difficulty battle content seems to be lost. I mean, they probably won't do that, but you can tell Yoshida really took this personally. Reaction from the game staff has been swift and total. They have not only stripped the world-first title from all members of the team, whether they used the plugins or not, but also all of their in-game gear and all of their achievements. As if Yoshi-P being extremely disappointed wasn't already the worst punishment a Final Fantasy XIV player could receive.
Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge launches soon for the Super Nintendo World Amusement Park system in the USA, and with it, Nintendo has had to make some balance adjustments, notably balancing, quote, accessibility with heightened safety requirements. Specifically, they mean you can't ride if your waist is too large for the cart. You want to know what such a waistline violation looks like? Right here, folks! Check that shit out! Yep, this waistline broke 1,000 hearts and is currently working on breaking my own. This expanse weighs in at 41.5 inches, or 105.5 Norwegian kroner meters, and is therefore a danger to Mario Kart enthusiasts because you gotta be under 40 to ride. It especially stings because when they said I wouldn't be able to play games in my 40s, I didn't think they meant my pants. It's pretty ridiculous that they do this because have you seen who's in Mario Kart? Ignoring Mario's own pasta thickness, you've got Donkey Kong, who, well, actually his width is more in his 60-inch shoulders rather than his wasp waist, which, let's be honest, rivals Peach's. And I don't mean 3D Peach, I mean Paper Peach. Bowser, on the other hand, would definitely run afoul of the rules, but I think he's been measuring without the shell. And who's going to tell him otherwise? No, I think this rule is meant to ban Wario. And if they don't catch him with this rule, they're going to pass another banning riding with a large mustache, which would be a hell of a shame because I was definitely looking forward to Wario's mustache ride.
Japan has designated January 31st as Final Fantasy Day, say the headlines across gaming media, as Square Enix cackles from atop Shinra Tower, celebrating probably the least expensive PR campaign they've ever attempted. Yes, indeed, January 31st, the anniversary of Final Fantasy VII's Japanese release in 1997, has been recognized as Final Fantasy Day by the Japan Anniversary Association. And what is the Japan Anniversary Association? Which counselor on the National Diet is responsible for the Fun Anniversaries portfolio? No, the JAA is a private company whose mission statement is an organization founded to comprehensively deal with corporate PR anniversaries. See, anniversaries are very important in Japan, and before the JAA was founded in 1983, nobody was really keeping track of the over 2,000 corporate anniversary dates. But now the JAA is here, and for the low, low price of only 150,000 yen, or about $1,500 US, or 167,000 Icelandic kroner, you too can submit your date of choice. They'll give you a little plaque, and for an added fee, a man will come to a ceremony. Their website then says you can say that the day is registered with the Japan Anniversary Association in events or announcements, and that announcing this will get you the practical PR effect of mass media news coverage. So, yeah, Square Enix did that. And their entry says that they also hope people enjoy the currently being made remake series. So it's not just PR, it's literally an ad. And Final Fantasy Day now shares its day in the sun with other January 31st classics, such as a tourism day enshrined by the Eel Restaurateurs Association of Oyaka City, a day celebrating grilled rice vermicelli with spring vegetables, and a day in observance of the first time someone in Japan paid for life insurance. So, no, Japan did not make a Final Fantasy holiday. Square just paid $1,500 for someone to say, sure, you can do that. I'm mostly mad that I didn't think of this first. So, Beej, can I have $1,500 to get Loading Ready Run's 20th anniversary recognized by a Japanese PR friend?
No, but I'm really sad that's my answer.
But you get a little plaque.
Can I get my own plaque?
Sure, for an extra $300.
Coming up, there's been another leak of classified documents on the War Thunder forums. No, another one than the one you're thinking of. I love this joke because it's completely future-proof.
And I know what you're thinking. $300 for an extra copy of the plaque.
Yes.
Surely I could just make a photocopy of the one they give me. No. Not allowed.
No, gotta...
No, not okay.
I think it's interesting that they have it built into the thing to be like, we'll make you one, but if you want another one, we'll make you another one, and also overcharge you for that one too.
I'm sad that I saw that coming a mile away. Like, I knew before I watched the H-Bomber Guy video, I knew that that's how Guinness operated.
Yeah.
It was a PR thing, right?
Yeah.
But as soon as I saw all these things about, like, Japan designates Final Fantasy Day, I was like, oh, this is a thing. This is one of those things. And lo and behold, yeah, it's obviously just one. Square Enix was like, here you go. We want to say this is Final Fantasy Day. And this company went, yeah, good job. You can say that now. That's it.
Headlines have such a problem because, right, like, because, like, that's doing so much heavy lifting. Because when you say Japan is celebrating Final Fantasy Day, it's like the country of Japan. No. A guy in Japan who runs a company is celebrating Final Fantasy Day on Square Enix's behalf. And it's because it's like the same thing with the E3 article, right? Is if you read the E3 article that's on IGN, it talks an awful lot about how, okay, so we've heard from sources that these three companies will not be attending E3.
Yeah, so it's probably true.
So it's probably true. And it kind of goes through that whole thing. But the title is Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox will not be attending E3 exclusive. And I'm just kind of like, I mean, boy, you know, if that turns out to be false, that would be embarrassing. maybe.
Well, that
but
means
chances
their
are it's not.
sources are bad.
Yeah, it's like, so if you know that it's going to be, if it ends up being true, then look at how prescient you look, because you were like, I said a thing and I was very definitive about it in my headline. But I hate headlines like that, because it's like, I know headlines are hard to make nuanced, but just a little bit of nuance, be like Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox reportedly not attending, that kind of thing is what you want to see. But yeah, multiple knowledgeable.
I liked your lower third for the Mario Kart story.
Yes.
Because you've talked about this on CheckPoint.
Yes.
We didn't do a story about it. The food at
Cafe, not the Mario Cafe, but like the whatever they're calling the cafe.
the Mario World. The Mario World food offerings in the U.S. version of Super Mario World
Yes.
are dire
Yes.
compared to the Japanese ones, which was like, not that I'm planning on going to if I go to the U.S. to go to a theme park, I'm going back to Disneyland.
Fair.
But, maybe someday, right? That would be, frankly, a big draw for me, because the snacks in the one in Japan look amazing.
Yeah,
and the ones in the American one is like, it's just a cupcake with some pink frosting.
Yeah, I call it Walmart bake sale tier.
Yeah.
It's the stuff you buy the night before when you realize that you've got to...
I have to bring a dozen cupcakes?
You're right. I have to go to the store and buy a dozen cupcakes.
Yeah.
They're sad, and yet the ones in Japan, Peach's Cake in Japan, is like a small cupcake thing, but it actually is decorated and with a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm like, that's my expectation when I go to an amusement park, is to be kind of whisked away on a whimsical adventure, not have somebody come by the tail and be like, here, Peach made this just for you. Eat it and fuck off.
And I think, many people have said this, and I'm going to say, I know that the theme park is going to be in the U.S., As Canadians, I'm going to say we have no high ground in this particular situation, but I don't think they have realized how many people attending their park will not fit that ride.
Yeah. It's just, Paul was even saying before this, it's the average waist size of men in the United States
Is 40.
So they basically said...
That's the average.
Yeah, it's like, we need a number.
Yikes.
We need a number to ban, so what do we ban at? And it's like, 40, because that's the average? And it's like, yes, perfect. It's like, you're not thinking this through. Mean, median, or mode, it doesn't matter which average you pick. That's a bad place to put it. But you know why I think it is?
Why is that?
Because I feel like the design of the ride initially was, let's design this for Japan. Let's design it to fit 3 people wide or whatever it looks like in the cart. So therefore, we know the dimensions of an average Japanese person versus anybody else. And so we'll make the ride with those ideas in mind. Because I don't think it's a Japanese company who made the ride.
Probably not.
I think it's called Premier Rides or something like that. It's an amusement park ride company. But I think they worked off of this idea of, well, how big can we make it? How much space do we have to work with? Like all those, you have to take all that stuff into account. And I'm like, yeah. But I imagine at no point did anyone say, hey, wait, is this thing also going to travel? Like, is it coming to other places? No, it's for Super Nintendo World. It's like, oh, okay. We didn't say we're opening one in Universal Studios. So, shit. And scaling it up by, like, we need an extra 3 inches in the seat is like, well, now everything changes. Yeah.
That's got to completely re-engineer it.
Yeah. Ignoring Maria's. Yeah. I once knew a plumber named Maria.
One thing that we didn't do a formal story about that Paul had mentioned, maybe this could all be one big sort of roundup, is all the mobile games that are being shuttered or canceled so soon after launch.
Oh, yeah.
Konami's, like, very strange, like, Bishi Sherlock Holmes game, Crime Site, is being pulled off of Steam and rendered unplayable. The Apex Legends mobile game is canceled.
Okay.
Is being shut down, and the Battlefield mobile game that hasn't even come out yet is being canceled.
I know so many mangakas that are going to be upset about that.
And the Epic Games wrestling-themed Battle Royale Rumbleverse.
Yes.
You remember seeing the trailer for this at E3?
No.
It's been out for less than 6 months, and it is being canceled.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
and let's not forget about the First Soldier, the Square Enix Battle Royale as well. I think people like maybe these companies like shot too high in terms of what people want a mobile game to be.
This rush of like live services stuff that was kind of coming in, especially during the development during the pandemic, where it's like, we know people are staying at home and gaming, and it's like, yeah, but you're also, you got there a little too late because all your stuff came out like last year.
Yeah.
It should have come out in 2021, and you would have still had some time probably.
And
to
like
make
mobile
up the
gaming
difference
is
on
just. Can anyone out there? Can you, the viewer at home, recommend to me a mobile game tower defense game that doesn't have 18 fucking menus? Everyone I download is just weighed down with a tremendous, like, this albatross of mobile game cruft.
Right.
Of just like you got your daily things, and then this quest track and this other quest track, and I'm like, no, I just want a tower defense game.
Right.
I just want a game where I make the little towers, and then the creeps come in and I shoot them, and then I have to level up my towers.
Yeah.
That's it. Does that exist anymore? Is that not a viable thing?
A game like that, I guess, is too uncomplicated. It's like nobody wants to make a game that you play on the toilet anymore. They want to make a game that you have to devote more time to.
I sound so old.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many fucking menus,
Yeah.
and it's literally designed to make it confusing for you to navigate, so that you'll hopefully spend money on it.
You accidentally hit a button and be like, I guess that cost me $99. Oh, well, I guess I won't complain about that.
Oh, I have so many gold gems now.
Which would be a hell of a shame, because I was definitely looking forward to Mario's fucking mustache ride.
Dinger.
Bang!
Mario and Wario mustache ride.
Mm-hmm. The Mario versus Wario mustache ride. You. You know what else got? What other game got removed from whatever?
Oh no.
This version of Sonic CD that runs on Steam. That was
Oddly specific.
Yeah, got taken off of Steam because Sonic Origins is now on Steam, which requires you to agree to like EULAs and all sorts of other crazy shit. And yeah, it's like, so that got Sonic CD for Steam got pulled off of Steam. I was reading Mastodon. I saw, I think it was MCC, it was a McClure, I think, who said, hey, so this has happened. And I'm like, oh, yet another game that is falling afoul of the, we can't monetize this shit. So, because Sonic Origins, I think, or no, Sonic Origins is just badly made. It's not that it has to be monetized.
Yeah.
They're just trying to sell more copies of it.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it's the same thing with like when Rockstar took all the copies of GTA and Vice City and everything off. You couldn't buy them anymore, so that you could only buy the definitive edition, which was bad. I think they fixed some of the problems, but oh, you said Eula, because I keep seeing it pop up that there's a character from Genshin Impact named Eula, spelled E-U-L-A, and every time I see someone talk about it, I'm like, did they do this on purpose? This sounds like a joke, but
that's pretty good.
I find it very funny.
Like it came up in conversation when they were talking with like some of their other partners and something, and somebody's like, "Oh, Eula's a good name. I can picture Eula Tan in my head already."
I wonder if they just did that so that if you search Genshin Impact EULA,
oh no,
you just get a bunch of waifu pictures instead of the actual terms of service.
Just a bunch of, I need to know what rule 34 of the Eula is, and it's like, well, oh no.